This is about a 10-minute mobility routine consisting primarily of cat-cow variations and some controlled articular rotations. And the big focus area is going to be the spine. We have 6 exercises to get through, so let's get rolling. Our first exercise is the cat-cow, which we're going to perform on hands and knees, also known as the quadruped position. So hands under shoulders, elbows straight, knees under hips. You can stack your toes or you can point your toes. That's not so much what matters. Starting off with a flat spine, going into the cat motion first, round the spine to the ceiling. Think of an angry cat. As you do this, tuck your chin into your chest and think about scooping your groin forward towards your nose. You should feel it lengthen or start to stretch along the spine. Now we take a few deep breaths while we're here. Each breath should feel like it's filling up the back side of your ribs and spinal area. With each breath, maintain your squeeze into this range so you can continue to feel that stretch along the spine. Now we're going to move the opposite direction. This is the cow. So the belly falls to the floor. Think like a lazy cow. Chin comes up to the sky. As you breathe here, you should feel like it's really filling up your belly and the front of your ribs with your breath. A few deep breaths here. You should feel stretching along the front of you and all the muscles along the spine contracting. We'll go one more rep through each. Back into the cat position, that angry cat. Tuck the chin, scoop the groin. Use those muscles on the front to really contract and pull you into this range of motion. A few deep breaths. Feel the tension along the spine. I mainly feel on the lower portion of my spine. And then the other way. Groin and nose get as far away from each other as they can. Belly moves towards the floor. Chin to the sky. Feel those muscles along the spine contracting now. A few deep breaths. Good. Flatten out. Next is neck controlled articular rotations. We're going to call those CARs for short. Now we're going to stay on hands and knees because it really helps keep the rest of the body from helping the neck motion. So for neck CARs, maintain your quadruped position. We're only moving through the neck. Tuck your chin into your chest. From here, keep your chin in contact with your collarbone as you sweep your chin towards your left shoulder. Now you're going to tilt your head back like you're trying to look back over your left shoulder. And then continue to pull your head up, getting the chin to the sky like we just had in our cat-cow. Continue to sweep the opposite direction, looking over the right shoulder. Tuck the chin into the right shoulder. Run it along your collarbone, back to the center. Let's do one more that same direction. Run along the collarbone to the shoulder. Look over the shoulder. Chin up to the sky. Continue over to the opposite. Looking over the right shoulder, chin to shoulder, along the collarbone back to the center. We're going to do two the opposite direction. As you go through this, move slow. If you ever feel a pinch, just shorten up your range of motion to work around that pinch. There's absolutely no reason to work into a pinch. Also, as you go through the motions, specifically when you're trying to pull your chin to the sky, make sure that your spine doesn't help. You're keeping the rest of your spine totally flat and in place. Only the neck is moving. Biggest range you can possibly make each time. Good. Next is trunk CARs. So I'm going to get in a seated position on the floor. If you have a hard time sitting like this, you can also have a seat in a chair. Arms cross over the chest, forearms rest on the chest. They don't lift up. My reference point is my top elbow. So I actually think, what do I got to do to draw the biggest, smoothest circle I can with my elbow as that reference point? So there's a marker attached to that elbow. As we do this, it's all coming from the spine. Both of your sits bones or your butt bones should be in contact with the floor 100% of the time, or in contact with your chair. Start off, forearms pulled against the chest, tuck your chin, and now we're just going to round forward until I feel it pull tight in my back. I'm going to rotate to the right, and again, I'm thinking draw a big circle using the outer elbow as my reference point. If I twist any further, my left sits bone is going to come off the floor. So from here, I stay rotated as I sit as straight up as I can. As I'm sitting up, rotate over to the opposite side until you run out of room. Tuck it down. So you're watching me from head on. You should be able to see that my upper elbow, if there was a marker attached to it, would be drawing a big, smooth circle. The biggest, smoothest circle I could make it. There's number 2, so let's reverse the direction. Tucked forward, rounding to the left until you run out of room. Keep rotating to the left as you sit upright. Stay seated upright as you rotate to the opposite side. Once you run out of room, round back down to the center. I feel a lot of muscle contracting and stretching through my ribs and my upper back, a little kind of at the base of where my shoulder blades would be. For ladies, pretty much the majority of the work, you'll probably feel kind of where the bra strap would land in your mid-back. Good. There's 2 each direction. Next, staying in the seated position, we're going to move on to shoulder cars. If you're seated on the floor like me, I'm going to start with my right arm. So I actually like to take my left arm and plant it firmly on the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, you can rest it to your side, or you can reach under and grab onto the edge of the chair on the left side. Elbows straight. You're going to start by sweeping the arm across your body. I think about trying to brush my nose with my bicep. It comes up to my ear. And now I rotate that arm away as I continue to draw a big circle with the shoulder. As it reaches back behind me, my palm faces the sky to finish the circle. And then I reverse that. Keep the palm facing out. Reverse the circle, unwinding the shoulder. Coming back across in the exact same arc of motion. Okay, as you go through this, your trunk's going to want to side bend and rotate in all kinds of directions. That's why I like to keep that hand planted firmly. It helps my trunk stay super stiff with nothing else moving. Now, once my bicep gets to my ear, it's not my palm. Think elbow pit. I want to rotate my elbow pit away from my head as I continue to reach back and make this circular motion. You'll feel lots of tension deep in the shoulder. You'll probably feel it in the chest and the bicep and all kinds of places, depending on where your tissues are stiff. Gradually unwind. Reversing that motion, reaching across the body. Let's do the opposite arm now. I'm going to give you a side view. Right arm is now planted firmly into the ground. Here we go. Elbow stays straight and locked. I sweep up. Bicep to ear. Elbow pit starts to rotate away from my face. Making the biggest circle I can. Notice my palm is facing up and then out away from my body. Thumb up. Lift. Unwind. Reversing that motion. Trunk is staying nice and stiff. It's not side bending. It's not arching. It's not going anywhere I don't want it to. It's staying perfectly still. All the motion is coming from the shoulder. If your shoulders are anything like mine, you probably got some crunchy sounds coming from in there. But just like the neck, Your main concern is to stay away from pinching pain. If you have pinching pain, shorten up the range to stay out of that pinching and continue with the biggest range of motion you can do, pinch free. Good. We're going to move on to hip cars, and we're going to do it from a standing position. I'm going to give you a side view first. We're going to start with the left leg. I have something to simply help me with balance because this is not a balance exercise. This is a hip exercise. Nothing else should be moving, 100% hip. Starting off with that working leg out in front, I'm going to sweep the leg across my body, bend at the knee to draw it up to the sky. I get stopped right about there, so I keep trying to drive the knee up as I start to sweep my leg out to the left. I run out of room right about here, so then my ankle starts to reach back. Drawing the biggest circle I can, but now my reference point is if there was a magic marker on my kneecap, what would I need to do to draw that big circle? Here, we're going to reverse the direction. First, you reach that foot back. As you reach it back, be sure that you're not falling forward. Remember, this is all hip, nothing from here. So keep stiff through here. Drive that back. Rotate the opposite direction. It's not necessarily a comfortable arc of motion. Coming back up, reaching the foot across the body, straightening the leg, down to that starting position. One more time. Bend the knee, sweep the leg up, stay stiff in your belly in that standing leg. That foot slides out, foot reaches back. Think kicking behind you, staying stiff through here. You're going to want to fall forward. Don't let it happen. Good. Now reverse. Kick. Rotate outward. Drive it up as high as it'll go. Reach across the body. And return to that starting point. Let's do the other leg. I'm going to give you a front view. Again, always have some kind of balance aid because the focus is not, you don't want to be distracted by balance. You want to put 100% of your effort into moving that one joint without anything else helping. All right, right leg. Across the body, pulling it up to the sky. I run out of room there. I sweep out to the side, reach my foot back. I'm trying to do my best to stay really stiff through here, to put all the work here. So it feels pretty stiff in that hip joint, especially as I go through this particular arc of the motion. One more. Reaching that foot back as far as you can. When you get here, stay nice and stiff so you don't fall forward. I'd say the most challenging part of these exercises is trying to get just that one joint to move with virtually no help from any other joint. That by itself will make it feel very stiff in that joint, and you'll be surprised at how much range of motion you realize that you don't actually have from that one joint. We're going to move on to our final exercise, which is a Jefferson curl. Think of it as a standing cat-cow. So we start with both legs straight, and I lock those legs out. So my butt is flexed and my quads are flexed, okay? From here, think of your spine as a sticker that's up against a wall, and you got to peel that sticker off from top to bottom, and then you got to lay the sticker back on the wall from bottom to top. So it looks like this. Let both arms just reach to the front, tuck your chin, and first you got to peel off the upper back. So think rounding through the upper back only, and then you slowly start to let the lower back round. until your spine simply runs out of room. So right about here, this is all my spine has. So now I start to let my hips rock forward. And now it's just simply a reach for the toes, keeping my spine curled. Just reach down as far as your range of motion will let you. You might get lit up big time through here or through here. And then reverse that motion. Standing back upright, first at the hips. Then think of that spine as a sticker, starting from the bottom, working your way back up to the top, laying that sticker out nice and flat. One more. Tuck the chin, rounding through the upper back first, peeling that sticker off the wall, then through the lower back. Legs are not moving at all. Spine runs out of room to move. Start reaching forward. Reach down as far as your range of motion will allow. Reverse it. All hips first. Hips are done here. Then start rolling that spine back up like that sticker on the wall. 2 repetitions across these 6 exercises, if you're moving at an appropriate controlled pace for each, should take about 10 minutes. You are free to add an additional rep or 2 onto each individual set. Just know that it's going to add a little bit of time onto your routine.